I was just fantasizing about having more adventures this year. I know I lived a full life in 2025. However, I also feel like I was in survival mode, maintaining my self-care after the unexpected death of my mother, and simply maintaining my career, home, and family life. I was treading water. It wasn't until Thanksgiving was approaching at the end of the year that I realized I was burnt out. Since then, I've spent the winter going inward, slowing down, and being compassionately present with myself. Now it's the winter thaw. The river is in full flow, rapidly passing by my house. No more ice covering its waters. As I was pondering getting out more and having fun nature adventures this spring, my friend messaged me and suggested we snowshoe the Flume Gorge soon. I immediately said yes, as I had never been, but it sounded exciting. The Flume Gorge is one of the most famous natural attractions in the Franconia Notch State Park in the White Mountains. It's a narrow, natural gorge at the base of Mount Liberty, known for its towering granite walls, waterfalls, and wooden boardwalk trail. It was discovered by Jess Gornsey in 1808. I may not be saying his name right. The main waterfall, which is frozen this time of year with gorgeous blue ice, is called Avalanche Falls. The massive granite walls were carved by the glaciers. There are boardwalks attached to the rock walls, allowing visitors to easily traverse the scenic views.
That looks like an amazing place to swim in the summer and get down there.
I loved all the bridges. 2 amazing covered bridges, one constructed in the late 1800s and one in the early 1900s, as well as a historic pine log bridge. We enjoyed views of the frozen waterfalls, the forest trail that meandered throughout, and stepping into a massive granite boulder field I called Troll Village. One boulder being coined the Great Boulder. I mistakenly called it the Master Boulder. My friend and I had a great laugh. There used to be a hanging egg-shaped boulder that was a main attraction when the gorge was first discovered in 1808. But in 1883, a flood knocked the boulder loose, dramatically changing the gorge and creating what became the Avalanche Falls. From May through October, the Flume costs money to get in to see the historic landmark. However, during the winter months, people can go in at their own risk. We ended up not wearing our snowshoes and put on spikes over our boots instead, which was a wise decision. The trails were adequately packed down with the layers of ice and snow, and with the fairly narrow trails and all the steps, there are like 500 steps in total, our snowshoes would have become a hindrance, especially at specific locations. The spikes allowed for a safe traction on the ice with added flexibility in our footsteps. I had a lovely late winter, early spring adventure, and I love that I'm able to take some of you along on this first-time expedition with me. I hope you enjoyed this virtual experience of the Flume Gorge and the Franconia Notch State Park of the White Mountains of New England. And I will see you again soon.